Hey y'all, today we're going to be making squash au gratin in our casserole crock. Oh, we're having a whole lot of fun.
Oh!
That was my elbow. Hey y'all, welcome back to another edition of Cooking Chris's Dishes with the good old boy. That's right, this Crock star is cooking up another dish from recipes.crock.com, and we're adapting a recipe today. It's a low-carb recipe from Keto Gatherings, another one of those cookbooks that Cris really loves. The authors, the recipe makers in this book have a lot of really good recipes. And one of them is, it's called a harvest squash casserole. And the thing is about this book is they've got a lot of great recipes, but a lot of them aren't slow cooker recipes. So what we're doing is trying to adapt these recipes so that they would work well in, oh, I don't know, a Ninja or a casserole crock or a foodie or whatever you got. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make up some squash. That's how my late Uncle Dummer used to call it. He'd call it squash. And the first thing you want to do is wash your squash, which we've already done.
Oh!
That was my elbow. But I've got one, you think of a zucchini, long zucchini, looks like a cucumber, but it's not a cucumber, it's a zucchini. And I got them cut into thin slices. And then one yellow squash, cut into thin slices just like that. And the recipe that they call for says 4 cups. We're going to use 1 zucchini, which is also known down here as a zucchini squash. I never knew that. But 1 zucchini and 1 yellow squash. I've got them washed up. I've washed my squash. Got them all sliced up already. Didn't cut a finger off. It's a good day so far. Now what I want to do is I want to get a mixing bowl out. And I want to also grab 4 tablespoons of butter. And anybody that can do the quick math knows that 4 tablespoons is, ready, half stick. I'm going to get a half stick of butter. And I need to melt that down real quick in my handy dandy microwave. Pop that in there for 30 seconds. And then the next thing I want to do is grab some garlic, which I happen to have some right here. That's 1 tablespoon garlic. And we like the garlic, so I'm liking the fact that it's a tablespoon. Make sure that doesn't fall on the floor. I want to have the zucchini, the squash, some salt, of course. Just a little bit of salt to your taste. Because again, you can salt this later. Put a little bit of pepper down in the bowl. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And the next thing I want to do is I want to get about a half a cup of mayonnaise and a half cup of sour cream. Let me try it again. Half a cup of mayonnaise, half a cup of sour cream. Let me grab me a spatula. And instead of getting more dishes out that you know I'm going to have to do later, I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to get about a half a cup of mayonnaise in there. And then I looked earlier, and in that sour cream container, that's what I call it, there's just about a half a cup left in there, so that ought to work out perfect. So that I don't have to clean off my spatula. Because you know me, I'm really not that good on cleaning things. But I'll tell you what, before, well, the kitchen looks a mess now because we've been cooking recipes all day. I did all the dishes by myself.
Oh my word.
All by myself, I did the dishes. All by myself. Alright, anyway, so now what we want to do is to have 1 cup. This is not 1 cup, but again, I'm eyeballing. But you want to have 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. And you want to divide that in half. Half of it goes in now, half of it goes in later. So about a half a cup, right about there. And then hold on to that other half cup here in just a minute. And then I want pork rinds. Now, when you do a casserole, or like if you're doing scallop, anything like a scalloped kind of thing, to give it some body, to give it some maybe a little bit of a crunch. Now it's going to cook in there, so it's not going to really be that crunchy, but it's going to give it some body. a lot of times people will use crackers, and if you don't want to go low carb, then in that case, go ahead and use crackers. I think in this recipe they used like the saltine crackers. I would even go as far as, since it's a casserole, maybe smashing down some Ritz and give it a little sweetness. But again, we're doing low carb, and pork rinds, I'm telling you, it's magic fairy dust in this. When I came home from an open mic a couple weeks ago when Cris was testing this recipe out, I walked in, she's like, you got to try those. And I'm like, I don't really want my veggies tonight. I don't want squash, and it's got pork rinds in it, and that's weird. And then I took a bite, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's got squash and pork rinds in it. That's amazing. So we're going to go low carb and use the pork rinds, and you want 3/4 cup of pork rinds. And again, I'm just going to eyeball it and say that's about a 1/4 cup, that's about a 1/2 cup, and that's about 3/4 cup. And all I did, I got to tell you, when I was putting this recipe together, we just had a bag of pork rinds, and I said, well, do I use a food processor? She's like, yeah, you could use a food processor, or you could just mash them down. I'm thinking, well, I really don't want to get out another gadget like the food processor, so I'm just going to smash them down. So all I did was we don't have a rolling pin because we're not baking that much bread on our travels here. So all I did was I took our lemon squeezer and I laid this flat and smashed it down, and then come to find out we didn't have enough shredded cheese, so I had to bring out the food processor anyway, and she thought that was kind of funny and ironic. But anyway, now what I want to do is just mix all this together. I'm going to kind of get all this put together first. All together like this. It's almost making like a cheese ball, is what it feels like. And then I'm just going to take my, of course it's funny, a cheese ball is making a cheese ball. I'm going to take my squash and my zucchini, put it down. Boy, I still got some more dishes to do later. Maybe, just maybe, since I'm cooking all these recipes up today, maybe somebody else will do the dishes. Maybe Miss Ad will do the dishes.
Because you always do the dishes when I do all the cooking, right?
You know what? I'm going to cut that part out. They don't need to hear all that.
Oh.
But I just want to mix up my squash and my zucchini in the mix, just to kind of get it all coated. And this is all going to marry up together. That squash and zucchini is all going to soften up. And all that cheese and that sour cream is going to kind of work its way in there. But in the bottom of my casserole crock, I need to put my butter. So, right in the bottom of my casserole crock, I'm just going to spread that out evenly, make sure the whole bottom of that gets covered up. And do one of these. Make it look like I'm driving a car. Don't look at me like that. Alright, and now I'm just going to take my mix here and put it in the bottom of my casserole crock, just like that. Spread it out a little evenly. Like that. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. Won't be the first time today. But then you'll get little dots of cream cheese, or not cream cheese, but sour cream, and those pork rinds, and that garlic, and that mayonnaise. I'm going to put it right in the bottom of that casserole crock, just like that. Oh yeah. I want to eat it like that. And you probably could, but it's going to be better if I wait. But this is what we look like in the bottom of your casserole crock. Something similar to that right there. Look at all those pretty colors, that yellow and that green and the browns from the pork rinds. That's going to taste real good here in about 3 to 4 hours. So set my lid on it. I'm going to set this on high for 3 to 4 hours. I'll set it for 4. I'll check it at 3, depending on how hungry I am, on how long this is going to last. But we'll come back as soon as this is done. Oh, wait. No, we won't either.
We're not?
I'm supposed to top that with cheese.
Oh, well, you shredded the cheese and all.
But wait! There's more! I almost forgot a very important step. You remember how I said to reserve that other half cup of cheese? That goes on the top. So I'm just going to sprinkle it just like this. Just to cover the top of that squash and that zucchini. She's over there waving, going, that's enough cheese, that's enough cheese. I'll spread it out over here. And now, this is what it's supposed to look like. If you couldn't tell, I was putting cheese on top of what I just showed you, but now it looks like that. So you just got your cheese all spread through there. Doesn't look good. That's going to look real good when it melts up. In 3 to 4 hours, or for you in 3, 2, 1. And we got this done in about 3 hours. This casserole crock cooked a little hotter this time, so at 3 it was done. And let's see how we did, kid. Let's pop this open. It's probably going to be steamy as all get out. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, but check that out. Look how that top layer of cheddar cheese is all melted down on top of that squash. And that zucchini. That looks amazing. That looks really good. I'm really looking forward to this one. I just had a couple bites of the last batch that she made this the other night, and then the rest of it did not last very long, so I'm looking forward to trying this out. Now you're talking about vegetables here, so there's going to be a lot of moisture underneath that cooked out of those vegetables, so I'm going to use a slotted spatula and try this out. I'm not going to put any salt on it. I'm going to try it as is. I'll come up here and see you while I do it. Hello friends, this is about to go into this. Let's try it out. Got some of that squash and that zucchini. That batch of pork rinds that got put in there, I'm trying to explain what it looks like. I mean, to me it looks like crushed up crackers. You see me dancing? The pork rinds give it body. This is the best way I can explain it. It gives it that casserole taste in your mouth, that feel in your mouth. Like if you were to use crackers, whether Ritz or Club or saltines, whatever you want to use. The squash and the zucchini, of course, are really good. I love a good cooked down squash or zucchini. And then you add those 2 layers. You got the cheese that you mixed in with everything, and then you've got the cheese you put on top, and that cheese just melts and bakes down into it. Dude, I'm telling you, that is amazing. And one thing that I worried about when I was mixing it together is it really seemed like I was making a cheese ball and then putting the zucchini in on top of it and the squash in on top of it, and I thought, well, that's not really, it doesn't look like it's too even. As it heats up, it spreads out all throughout the zucchini. And it is, well, as you can see, I'm cleaning my plate, and this is not an act, y'all. This is really good. Make that. That would be a good side dish with chicken. That would be a good side dish with a roast. You could just make up your dinner. If you don't think you can eat it all, you can call me. And I will be there, because as you can see, one final bite, and I clean my plate. It's just that good. If you like good things, if you like Goode things, give us one of these. Put a little thumbs up down below. Also, if you have not become a member of the Crock Posse, click the little subscribe button down below. Automatically welcome member of the Crock Posse. We love you, and we hope that you keep coming back to us. And we will keep throwing stuff up for you every single week if we can. And if you want to be notified when we put something up, click that little bell down below called the ding-a-ling. And y'all, we will send you videos all the time. But most importantly, whatever you do, laugh often.
Eat good food.
And speak life. Bye, y'all.
Professional.
I know. If they want perfection, they can go see Gordon Bloody Ramsay.
My goodness, you're a professional.
Yeah, I'm a professional mistake maker. Gee whiz. Oh.
What?
I just picked something off the table and ate it, and it was nothing but pure garlic. That's smart.
That's dangerous when you're the one responsible for cleaning the kitchen. I'm just saying.
If you want to see the latest, click on the left right here. If you feel like subscribing, click on the right, my dear. And if you think we're funny enough to send us money, click the Patreon link below.